Everybody, it's Owlified, and welcome to my first ever Temple House Team Awards. What I'm going to do is I'm going to recognize players and statistics from both the offense and defense. I'm going to mention, individual statistics and team statistics of both. And in my next video, I'll give you an overall look of the season that played out for us. So basically what the awards are, like I said, are I'm going to be recognizing players and parts of the team that had a major role in the football team's success. First, I'm going to start out with recognizing the defense. Our deadly defense consisted of many players who throughout the season switched rotation and played different positions, and overall, such a big part. The defense is probably and basically what kept us in most of our games. Some of these players include Dominique Harris, Jaquan Jarrett, Anthony Furla, Jamal Schulters, Omar McDonough-Hales, Lamar McPherson, Alex Joseph, John Haley, Leon Azubuike, Amar Kamara, Terrence Knighton, Andre Niblett, Elijah Joseph, and George Coleman. Well, the Owls defense, like I said, had been a huge success throughout the season, for the most part against teams like Penn State and the Akron game. Those were the guys who kept us in the game and for the most part, gave the offense another chance to put the ball in the end zone, which was pretty tough near the end of the season. But the defense this year forced 13 interceptions, which put them in a 9-way tie with many of the bigger name teams, including Oregon, Auburn, West Virginia. Actually, the Owls had more interceptions than Penn State, who had 10, and Rutgers, who had 9, which is, it says a lot about this team already and the tenacious defense that we have. Temple finished 61st in scoring defense. Total defense, we gave up 357 yards per game. Just to add, for scoring defense, we gave up 27. And for the total defense, it's basically, in the pack with everybody else, 357 yards per game, which could have been and should have been lower in certain games, including the final game. We gave up too many passes, and it's, I don't understand playing 10 yards off, but, we just, sometime it'll improve. But also, the biggest achievement of the defense had to be the pass defense. We were one of the strongest teams in the country. We were ranked 16th, actually, in the country. We only gave up 190 yards per game, pass yards, that is. Finally, the rushing defense, had improved over, a while. Temple finished up 48th, giving up only 120 yards per game. So those were some of the factors that kept Temple in and out of the game for the most part. But those were the team statistics for defense. And now I'm going to move on with, and I'm going to show you some of the team leaders for individual statistics. So now I'm going to be discussing some of the individual defense statistical leaders. Leading tackler for the team was Dominique Harris, who had 81 total tackles, 41 solo, 40 assists. Behind him was Jamal Schulters with 74, 42 solo, 32 of them being assists. The category after that is leading sacks, which is Junior Gillette, who had eight for 49 yards. Behind him was Andre Neblett with 6 sacks for 35 yards. Then we have leading interceptions, which is Dominique Harris with 3. Behind him was Jamal Schulters with 2 for 0 yards, and George Coleman with 2 for 24. After this comes leading fumble recoveries, which is Terrence Knighton. Terrence had 3 fumble recoveries, going for 66 yards. Behind him was a 3-way tie. John Haley, 2 for 25. Jamal Schulters, 2 for 3 yards. And also Amar Kamara, 2 for 0 yards. And finally, leading field goal blocker, I had to put this in. It goes to Terrence Knighton, who had 3 field goal blocks, and 2 of them actually came in the final game, if you recall, against Western Michigan. So that was a little recognition of individual defensive players, and now I'm going to be talking about some of the offense's achievements this year. Alright, so the leading passer on the team was Adam DeMichael, who averaged basically 200 yards per game in 8 games. Behind him, Vaughn Charlton. The leading receiver was Bruce Francis with 73 yards per game. His averages like 15 a carry, and behind him is Dion Crudup. Next is the leading rusher, Jason Harper, with basically 50 yards per game. Behind him is Darrell Robinson. Punt returner Marquise Liverpool averaged 5.4 yards a catch. Behind him was Delano Green. The punter, Jeff Watney, averaged 39 yards per punt. And the field goal kicker, Jake Brownell, was 14 of 22 for this season. And now we'll go on to a pretty much summary of this year. Alright, so that about sums up the 2000 season. Other than that, that was basically a look at the offense and the defense, and how far they've come this year. Just a recap of the schedule. We lost to Navy, we lost to Buffalo, we lost to Connecticut, we lost to Bowling Green, we lost to Army, we beat Northern Illinois, we beat Akron and Miami. The 3-game winning streak brought us to 3-5. Then we lost to Ohio and Penn State, beat Kent State, and then yesterday we lost to Western Michigan, bringing our record to 4-8. 4-8, like I said, in the conference 4-4. No one really expected that, but overall a great, season for the beginning of the golden era. Hopefully in the future seasons we can build on this, and I'm predicting that next year we do make it to a bowl game. I can't really, pick out certain players this year that have, in my opinion, that have, worked the hardest, even though there may be some, but I would say this year has been an overall team effort, and that's what's made Temple, this good this year. So that's about it. That wraps up the 2007-2008 season, or 2007 season. This was my little Temple season review, so I hope you enjoyed it, and can't wait till spring training, and we'll see you then.